Hi everybody, we are discussing about the second chapter called as the biological classification. Biological classification. In the previous video, we concluded discussing about the five kingdom classification. Okay, the characteristics of the five kingdom classifications we learned. And now here, if you are considering the Carolus Linnaeus classification system, okay, he considered and gave two kingdoms. Okay, he proposed two kingdom classification system. Okay, he proposed two kingdom classification system. That is what kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animaliae. Okay, kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animaliae. These are the earliest classifications that are brought by the Carolus Linnaeus. And later on, who brought the grouping, proposed the five kingdom classification? It is R.H. Whittaker in the year 1969 has proposed five kingdom classifications. But now, if you are talking about the Linnaeus, okay, who proposed two kingdom classification, okay, in the earlier classification systems, means what he brought it as two kingdom classification, that is kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animaliae. Here he said that bacteria, blue-green algae, fungi, mosses, ferns, gymnosperms, angiosperms, all these, okay, whether it is bacteria, blue-green algae, fungi, mosses, ferns, angiosperms and gymnosperms, all these are placed under the kingdom Plantae. Okay, all these organisms are placed under the kingdom Plantae only. But later on, R.H. Whittaker, what he did is, based upon the other criteria, based upon other characteristics, he had again grouped all the organisms into different groups or into different kingdoms, five kingdoms. Okay, five kingdoms. But as we are talking about the earlier classification system, okay, in the plant kingdom, all these are placed. Okay, all these are placed. Just because why the bacteria, blue-green algae, fungi, mosses or ferns or gymnosperms, angiosperms are clubbed together and are placed under the kingdom Plantae, just because of the presence of cell wall. Okay, only considering the presence of the cell wall, all these organisms are placed under the kingdom Plantae. Just imagine, in previously, okay, Carolus Linnaeus said that bacteria is also coming under what? Kingdom Plantae. But as the knowledge increased, they are again, based upon the different characteristics, they are again separated. Okay, they are again separated. So let us remember, earlier classification, okay, has brought all these organisms into kingdom Plantae only because of the presence of the cell wall. Okay, because of the presence of the cell wall, but widely differed in characteristics, which means apart from the cell wall, okay, apart from the cell wall which is common in all these, other characteristics are entirely different from one another. Okay, cell wall is there present in all these organisms, but whereas other characteristics, they are entirely different. But he did not consider other characteristics which are different from each other, one another. He considered only that which is common and placed all the organisms into kingdom Plantae. So here, that's what we say, that but widely, okay, widely differed in other characteristics. All these organisms are different in their different characteristics. Okay, differed in their different characteristics. Now, for example, okay, prokaryotic bacteria, okay, prokaryotic bacteria and blue-green algae, okay, are placed with the other groups of eukaryotics. Just in the previous video, we studied that the bacteria is coming under the kingdom Monera, but previously there is no kingdom Monera. Carolus Linnaeus said that there are only two kingdoms, as what? Kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animaliae, just based upon what? Cell wall. So here, prokaryotic bacteria and blue-green algae with other groups of eukaryotic, okay, they are all included as one, okay, including prokaryotic bacteria and blue-green algae are kept under one only, under the eukaryotic. And at the same time, unicellular and multicellular organisms are also placed under the same, okay, are also placed under the same category, okay. Here, like for example, Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra, placed together in algae. Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra, they both are placed together in algae, which is not correct. Which is not correct, okay. Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra are placed together in algae. That is not correct, okay. And the third one is, classification did not differentiate between heterotrophic and autotrophic. Okay, classification did not differentiate between heterotrophic organisms and autotrophic organisms. That's why even the fungi is also placed in which kingdom? Kingdom Plantae. But later on, with the with the study of the characteristics that are shown by the fungi, it is again separately grouped and it is classified as a separate kingdom called as kingdom fungi. It is again brought it as what? Kingdom fungi. Okay, it is then known as the kingdom fungi, as we have seen, okay, in the table as kingdom fungi, which is one of the kingdom proposed by whom? R.H. Whittaker. R.H. Whittaker. So, based upon what this kingdom fungi is brought, now here, as we already said, that the fungi is kept under what? Kingdom Plantae, just because it is showing what? Presence of the cell wall. But here, if you look at the chemical composition of the cell wall present in the fungi, the cell wall, okay, the cell wall present in the fungi is made up of what? Chitin. Okay, it is made up of chitin. Please remember this. Okay, it is made up of chitin. Whereas the cell wall present in the green plants, okay, present in the green plants, it is made up of what? Cellulose. Okay, it is made up of cellulose. Please remember this. So cell wall, okay, let me say here very clearly, the cell wall of green plants, okay, is made up of cellulose, whereas the cell wall of the fungi is made up of chitin. That is the huge difference when you look at the chemical composition. So this is how the fungi, kingdom fungi is brought, again studying not only about the presence of the cell wall and its chemical composition, but also considering the other characteristics of the fungi, which are showing entirely different from the kingdom Plantae. And now, if you are considering, okay, all prokaryotic organisms, okay, all prokaryotic organisms, they are placed under, okay, they are placed under the kingdom Monera. Okay, they are placed under the kingdom Monera. This is very important. So we have to remember that in kingdom Monera, okay, in kingdom Monera, there will be prokaryotic organisms. Okay, there will be prokaryotic organisms. And here the next point is that we have to remember is that all, okay, unicellular eukaryotic organisms, okay, eukaryotic organisms. If you are considering the unicellular eukaryotic organisms, they are placed under the kingdom Monera. Okay, they are placed under the kingdom Protista. Okay, they are placed under the kingdom Protista. But here, previously in earlier classification, okay, in earlier classification, if you are considering in earlier classification, okay, earlier classification, here we have to remember 2 points. Okay, 2 points which are very important. Okay, when you are talking about the unicellular eukaryotic organisms which are coming under the kingdom Protista. In earlier classification, organisms like Chlamydomonas, okay, Chlamydomonas and the Spirogyra, okay, and Spirogyra, okay, these two are placed, okay, these two are placed in the, okay, plant kingdom. Okay, these two are placed in the plant kingdom. Okay, they are placed in the plant kingdom. Why they are placed in plant kingdom? Okay, why they are placed in plant kingdom? It's just because of the presence of what? The cell wall. Okay, just because of the presence of cell wall. So these two, Chlamydomonas and, okay, sorry, here the Chlorella. Okay, it's Chlamydomonas and Chlorella. Okay, Chlamydomonas and Chlorella are placed in plant kingdom in earlier classification. Please remember, Chlamydomonas and Chlorella are placed in plant kingdom in earlier classification. Why they are placed in plant kingdom? Just because of the presence of what? Okay, due to the presence of cell wall. Okay, just because they are showing the presence of cell wall, they are placed under the plant kingdom. But later on, when they are very clearly studied, these two are brought and placed under which kingdom? Kingdom Protista. Okay, they are placed in the kingdom Protista. Okay, they are placed in the kingdom Protista. In the same way, okay, in the same way, if you are looking at, okay, second one, okay, if you are looking at the second one, okay, like organisms like Paramecium, okay, Paramecium and Amoeba, okay, Paramecium and Amoeba. If you are looking at these two organisms are placed, okay, they are placed in okay, animal kingdom. Okay, they are placed in animal kingdom. Okay, they are placed in the animal kingdom. Okay, they are placed in the animal kingdom. So they are placed in what? Animal kingdom. Why? Which lack okay, which lack, okay, cell wall, which lack cell wall, okay, which lack cell wall. So here what we have to understand is that the classification system, okay, system of classification is keep on changing, okay, it is keep on changing and it is not constant, it is not standard. As we are, okay, coming across, okay, higher knowledge, okay, higher knowledge, the classification will also change, knowing about more important characteristics of about those organisms, okay. So we have to keep that point in mind. So as the knowledge is increasing and as we are studying about these organisms very carefully, we are identifying different characteristics, and based upon those characteristics we are able to group the organisms separately, so that it is easy for us to study about those organisms showing those specialized characteristics, okay, showing those specialized characteristics. So here we should remember that there will be changes that will be taking place in the system of classification, okay, we should remember that there will be changes that will be taking place in the system of classification, okay, even in future also, okay, even in future also there will be changes that will be taking place in the system of classification, depending upon what, identifying new characteristics and also their evolutionary relationships, okay, and also their evolutionary relationships. So till now attempts have been made to evolve, okay, the system of classification based upon what, morphological, physiological and reproductive similarities, and from now on they will also, okay, consider what, phylogenetic, okay, they also will consider what, phylogenetic characteristics, that is nothing but based on what, evolutionary relationships. So till now the system of classification is based upon morphological and physiological or otherwise reproductive similarities, but even from now they are considering what, phylogenetic, which is nothing but evolutionary relationships, okay, evolutionary relationships. Based upon all these, there may be new changes that we may see in system of classification, So here in this chapter, okay, in this chapter we are going to discuss about the kingdom, okay, we are going to discuss about the kingdom Monera, okay, kingdom Monera, okay, and kingdom Protista, okay, kingdom Protista, and also about the kingdom Fungi, okay, and also about the kingdom Fungi we are going to discuss in this chapter, okay, in this chapter called as what, biological classification. And about the kingdom Plantae and the kingdom Animalia we will be discussing very clearly or in detail. We are going to discuss about those two kingdoms in the other chapters, okay, in the other chapters. So first we will discuss about the first kingdom, kingdom Monera, okay, kingdom Monera. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista and kingdom Fungi, okay, kingdom Fungi. So the first kingdom is what, kingdom Monera, okay. So this kingdom Monera consists of bacteria, okay, all the bacteria will be coming under kingdom Monera, okay. They are the sole members, okay, they are the sole members of kingdom Monera. Bacteria are the sole members of the kingdom Monera, we say, okay, sole members of the kingdom Monera, and they are the most abundant microbes, okay, these are the most abundant microorganisms that are present, okay, these are the most abundant microorganisms that are present, okay, coming under the kingdom Monera. And if you see, where are these okay, abundant microorganisms present? Habitat, the place where they live for their food and shelter, we say habitat, okay. Where are they present? Remember, these microorganisms are called as the bacteria are present everywhere, okay, they are present everywhere, okay, they are present everywhere. They are present in the soil, they are present in the soil. Now if you take okay, just to take handful of soil, if you take handful of soil, you can see that they contain thousands, okay, thousands of microorganisms, okay, thousands of microorganisms are present in just a handful of soil, okay, in handful of soil. And bacteria are present in the hot springs, which means at high temperatures are also they are present, okay, in hot springs they are present. In deserts we can see this bacteria, in snow we can see this bacteria, in deep inside the oceans we can see the different types of bacteria. And not only that, these bacteria are also present as parasites on, okay, on the organisms on and in, okay, on and in the organisms, okay, in different organisms we can see this, okay, bacteria. So we have to remember that these bacteria are present as parasites on the surface of any organism or inside the body of an organism. We can identify the bacteria or different types of bacteria. And here bacteria, okay, if you are looking at the bacteria, we can broadly group them or categorize them into 4 categories. We can divide them into 4 categories based upon what they shape, okay, based upon their shape we can broadly make them into 4 categories. The first one, okay, are spherical, which means round in shape, okay, spherical. They are called as what? Coccus, okay, they are called as coccus. So these are round in shape, which we are calling them as spherical, okay, coccus. Plural word is cocci, okay, the plural word that we will be using is cocci. And the second type, here we can see, okay, here we can see that they are appearing like rod shaped, okay, they are appearing like rod shaped, and these are called as bacillus, okay, bacillus. Plural word is bacilli, okay, plural word is bacilli, okay, plural word is bacilli. We can say that these are bacilli, okay, plural word. And the third type, okay, third type are in the form of spiral, okay, spirillum, okay, spirillum. Okay, plural word is spirilla. Okay, plural word is spirilla. This is another group of bacteria. This is very, very important both for your subjective and also objective. Please remember this. Okay, so spirilla. Okay, spirillum. And the plural word is what? The shape is spirilla. Spirillum. Plural word is spirilla. We are saying this is the third type of shape. Okay, third type of shape. And the fourth one. Fourth one, if you see, they are just appearing like a comma shaped. Okay, comma shaped. Okay, here we can say it as Vibrium. Okay, Vibrium. V-I-B-R-I-U-M. Vibrium. And the plural word that is used here is Vibrio. Okay, plural word that we are using for them is Vibrio. So these are all the different shapes. Okay, different shapes, and based upon the shapes, bacteria are grouped into 4 categories. Okay, bacteria are grouped into 4 categories. One is, okay, spherical, rod shaped, and spiral shape, and comma shape, These are the 4 different types of bacteria based upon their shapes. Okay, based upon their shapes. There are some more points which we should keep in mind when we are talking or discussing about kingdom Monera. Please remember that bacterial structure may be very simple. To look at that particular bacteria, its structure may be very simple, but very complex in behavior. When compared with other organisms. So when we are comparing with the bacteria with other organisms, they may be looking in their structure very simple, but their behavior will be in complex. Okay, very complex behavior they will be exhibiting. That's a very important thing and identification that we should keep in mind when we are talking about the bacteria. Okay, and they show the most extensive metabolic diversity. The metabolic diversity is so extensive, it is entirely different when you are comparing with the other organisms. Okay, so they show the most extensive metabolic diversity. And here some of the bacteria are autotrophic. Okay, autotrophic means which can prepare their own food. So some of the bacteria are autotrophic. Please remember we are using the word some. Okay, some are autotrophic, which means they can undergo photosynthesis. Okay, photosynthetic autotrophs we call them as, or otherwise they can also use the inorganic substances. Okay, use the inorganic chemical substances to prepare their own food. So that's why we can also call them as what? Chemosynthetic. Okay, chemosynthetic autotrophs. Okay, chemosynthetic autotrophs. So when they are preparing their own food by using inorganic substances or chemicals, we are calling them as what? Chemosynthetic autotrophs. Okay, so some of the bacteria are autotrophs. Okay, autotrophs we are saying, but most of the bacteria or vast majority are what? Heterotrophs. Okay, they are heterotrophs. They depend upon other organisms. Okay, they depend upon other organisms, and they depend upon dead organic matter. Okay, they depend upon other organisms, or they depend upon the dead organic matter for food. Okay, for food. So these are some points which we should keep in mind when we are talking about the kingdom Monera. So let us keep all these points which we studied, okay, about the kingdom Monera. Okay, about the kingdom Monera. In the next video, we are going to discuss in detail about the kingdom Monera about Archaebacteria and Eubacteria, okay, which means true bacteria we are going to discuss in the next video. Thank you.